maybe I was born a girl. And like, maybe my dad hated women so much that he asked the doctors to give me some kind of sex change. And I'm talking 8. And this probably is maybe one of the greatest moments of my entire life. Because at that moment, at around 8 or 9, I told myself, if that's true, there should be scars. There should be scars around your balls because the doctors would have had to sew that on. So I went to the bathroom, and it took a lot of courage for me to do. And I looked for the scars, and there were none. And at that moment, I realized that not being afraid to look for scars, not being afraid to look for the evidence, can generate enough certainty in you to know for sure what you are. I don't know that I put it all together that much at 8, but I felt liberated. I felt like I had done something and I had proven it to myself. And although after that my dad continued to try to toughen me up by paying kids to beat me up and everything else, I never again ever questioned whether I was a boy or a man. Ever. In fact, to this very day, I find the question silly. And for me anyway, and I'm just speaking for me, the gender identity, while I believe it's real for a lot of people in terms of what they're going through, today I realize there's more things more important than that. There's more things important than being certain about where you fit in society's categories. There's accountability to yourself that's more important. And there's accountability to those who need you to succeed that is more important than where you fit into categories. And that nobody, not a single person, no matter how much on the outside it might look like they fit into the categories perfectly, like a Don Draper from Mad Men. Just like Don Draper, there's a Dick Whitman that was raised in a whorehouse inside. None of us are fitting into these categories, and none of us are living a life of freedom because we somehow think we fit into a category. I didn't put that all together at 8, but the emotional need I needed at 8 or 9 was a certainty and a stability to my environment so that I could grow, so that I wouldn't be distracted and so that I could grow. And I hadn't even, still at that point, hadn't even started to think about what a woman in my life would mean. And the fact that my mom really wasn't a part of it and that I was living with an alcoholic attorney as a father, what that all meant. And a lot of my story is about women, you know, it's about women. It's about watching how my dad treated women. It's about how much at different times in my life I sought their approval. It's about how much women, long before all the teacher stuff you see, can be predators just as much as men. My aunt-in-law was also, everyone in my immediate circle was alcoholic, and extended circle for the most part, you know. When you grow up on a reservation, there's a lot of great things there, but until you wrap your mind around it, like you hear people say in these leadership things, in fact, I was just listening to Eric Thomas talk about people are fuel. You know, people are fuel in the sense that whoever you're around, right, that can elevate you or bring you down. And I was thinking about that, the truth of that. You know, if you're you know, around greatness and people who are striving or above you or more advanced, whatever you think it is, that can be very motivating for you to go beyond your own self-imposed limits to reach those heights and to learn and to have that mentorship. But, you know, in our own families, you know, you're around by who you're around by default. You're not making any choices. And if those people are looking at negative things and complaining all the time, it's like the opposite of the wind against your sails. It's you dry. You don't know it because that seems normal to you. That's where you're raised. Now think about that, part of that, plus